Made it up to the top here. This view up here is just spectacular. I hope the camera's picking up some of it. This turned out fantastic. Howdy, my name is Zach. I am a full-time van dweller and full-time traveler with my dog Winter in our van Gertie. And today we are gonna go on a quick hike, which is kind of a tradition for us to do almost every day because my dog Winter, she really needs to get her exercise in, and she absolutely loves going for walks with me. And then after we go for this hike slash walk, we are gonna come back and cook a delicious dinner. One of my absolute favorites to have out here in the woods, and something that I have probably at least, well, we'll just say as often as I can. Today is gonna be a little bit simpler of a video. Just gonna hike to the top of this mountain that's behind our camp area. We're gonna probably walk along the ridgeline a little bit, pull in all the beautiful views that are all around us, and then come back down here and cook. So let's get this hike underway and get out of here. Oh, there's the sun and the wind. It's kind of a windy day, so I apologize for any wind noise you have to deal with. I have this little mic right here that will hopefully cut down on that as much as possible, but can only do what you can do, so hopefully it's not too big of a problem. We've been at this spot for about a week now, and it's probably one of my favorite spots, despite the fact that I've had tons of visitors. Within the first couple days I was here, had a fish and game warden come up here. She told me that I was going to be having visitors, but that those visitors were going to be wolf biologists. When they both came by, I was kind of in the morning time, so not really in the mood to talk to anybody, so I didn't bother them and they didn't bother me. They just did their work and then took off. The other visitors I've had include some Great Pyrenees dogs, which are sheep dogs. They're backcountry sheep dogs, which defend sheep herds against any of the threats that they can run into here in the backcountry. And then earlier today, the whole entourage, the shepherd, several dogs, to include one of the Pyrenees, and the shepherd on his horse, and then another pack horse with him, just rode right through camp, which was pretty cool. Just gave him a friendly wave and he was on his way. This first part is actually quite easy until we get to the mountain behind me. See, it's just steep right up there. So there's no trail here. I just walked along this road, but this road ends basically right there. And then we're just going straight up this slope. Actually, change of plan. I'm gonna cross over to that tree line over there, and we're gonna follow that ridge up. And that'll bring us right to the top of this peak here. And then we'll go along the ridge line this way and pull in all the views. The reason I'm doing this hike is, one, it's a little shorter and it's a little bit better for filming as I do it, but it's also right next to camp and you can see all the mountains all around me. The Sawtooths are off that way. The Soldier Mountains are off that way. So there's a lot of mountains to check out and see. And I think this is one of the best views around. We've been hiking around in this area for the past week, about a hike a day. I think this past week I've done about 20 miles of hiking and I'm pretty beat. I took yesterday off just so that I could have the energy to do a good job filming this. So we're gonna hike or walk across this little, we're gonna walk across this kind of meadow here and then start up that ridge line. I find hiking up ridge lines is a little bit easier than going up big areas like this of just pure steepness. So let's get this show on the road. Let's go. Now we've made it to the ridge line and the real climb begins. All right, made it up to the top here. This view up here is just spectacular. I hope the camera's picking up some of it. This guy has a little bit of trouble with the sun and kind of blanking out the light. But as you can see, we can see mountains all around us. There's the snow-capped Soldier Mountains up over here. And then we can just start to see the back end of the Sawtooth back over here. It's hard to really bring you to this spot. It's quite windy, but it's spectacular. I'm gonna get down below the ridge line here. or the peak. As you can see, there's of course a nice little cairn that somebody has built. I'm not sure why people have to build cairns on the top of every mountain they find. It's like, oh, look at this pristine wilderness. Let's make sure everybody that comes up here knows that a man has been up here long enough to build a rock pile, and then everybody that comes up after him puts another pile on top. We don't need rock pile guest books on top of every mountain, but that's just one man's opinion. Oh, the black flies are terrible. They're also called buffalo flies because they have kind of a hump, but they're kind of a flesh-eating fly that is pretty merciless with its bites. Winnie got bit up really bad, and they like to come out in the mornings and evenings, and right now it's the evening, and all I can feel is them landing on me like little meteors of flesh-eating destruction. So we're gonna start walking along this ridge line that you see behind me. It's not a knife edge ridge line, it's a nice gentle ridge line, but a ridge line nonetheless. It kind of goes off to another peak, so we're gonna go off and meet up with that cairn and that peak and go from there. Oh, Winnie, let's go this way. All right, the next cairn, somebody thought to build and put this stick on it. All right, let's go to this third one. It's a bit of a hike up. We'll get up there and check it out. Let's see what altitude we're at. Actually, the first one's higher, visibly. So we're at 8150 feet, only a couple hundred feet above camp. Probably can't see too well with this camera. Right over there, that's where we were just at. Camp is down this way, basically straight down there. I actually pointed this ridgeline out from my last video, my first camp that I came, or second camp that I was at, but first one I came to up in the mountains here, I said, hey, if you follow that ridge line up, we'll get to the sheep. So if I look down this way here, that's where the sheep were in my last video, if you're following along. And the valley way down yonder, way down that way, all the way down, it's about 5,500 feet, so we're 2,200 feet above it. It's beautiful. Just mountains over there, valley, mountains, 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 everywhere mountains. It's a great place to kick off the summer. Oh, it sure is windy up here. I do apologize if the wind is a problem. I did do my best. I dressed kind of light because I knew I'd be getting sweaty, but this wind is taking all the moisture off of me and now I'm starting to get chilled. So I really want to get below this ridge line and back to camp so I don't get too cold. I don't really want to spend the evening trying to warm up. I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I think it's time to get back down to camp. I'm going to put the camera down for a few minutes so that I can do that. If you want, this is a great time for you to like the video if you're enjoying it so far. And if you want to catch later adventures, you should hit that subscribe button because we'd love to have you along. Winnie and I are always looking for new friends to show our adventures to and take you along. So we'll see you back at camp in about 30 minutes.
We've been waiting all this time, anticipating our moments arrive. Can you feel it coming? Ready for the world we're taking. All you ever wanted is here. The world is waiting for you.
Alright, so we made it all the way back to the van, and now it's time to make some dinner. This is one of my favorite meals. It is butternut squash thrown on the grill with some other vegetables slash fruit and grilled for about 30 minutes. And I'm also going to throw in a little bit of steak. Not really a fancy steak, it's like a $2, $3 steak, but it's some nice protein to have after a nice hike. We went for about 2 hours. Took us about 30 minutes to get down from the top, so not too bad. Beautiful walk down, scraped my legs up. I don't think I got bit by any of those black flies, which is fantastic. But now it's time to get the butternut squash cut up and the grill heated up and get to cooking some food.
The world is waiting.
What the fuck was that? Okay, so I got the squash cubed up. I also sliced up some pineapple because I really like pineapple if it's roasted. And I also put some sweet onion on there, diced nicely and fresh. All juicy items, which should put a lot of moisture in there and prevent it from burning on the grill. I also tossed some butter in there for flavor, some seasoning salt from Montana called Alpine Touch. As far as I know, you can only get it in Montana, and it's definitely my favorite seasoning salt. I tossed a little bit of butter on there along with some avocado oil as well, so I can hopefully prevent it from burning. And this is kind of a tried and true method here, sticking it in some foil and toss it on the grill. Definitely one of my favorite ways to cook. But of course I forgot to get the grill going. Probably gonna run out of propane in the 30-minute cook time. A bird just flew under the van. That scared both me and Winnie. Now I'm gonna get the grill turned on. Usually I just throw it on there right after I start the grill and set the timer for about 30-35 minutes. Put a lot of moisture in there, so it should hopefully not burn this time. Usually I burn the bottom, but I'm hoping not to do that this time. So let's get that grill started.
Walk trails alone. I don't get up with the rest of you. Lonely light calls down on me just like you used to. Endless night, come down, come down. We couldn't be together like we wanted to. Took us far too long to see and want the truth. Wishing me the world and I the best for you, but we couldn't be together like we wanted to. Little head, keep it hidden in your heart so well. When we fell like a penny outside the wishing well. Endless night, come down, come down. We couldn't be together like we wanted to. Took us far too long to see and want the truth. You're wishing me
All right, well, this turned out fantastic. Meat is just perfect on the rare side, nice and pink on the inside. And the pineapple, with squash and onions, turned out so good. I even managed to not burn too much of the squash and pineapples and stuff to the bottom. There's a few that are crispy, but zero complaints. Of course, I just dropped it on the ground. 5-second rule. Let's try this steak. So good. Well, the mosquitoes are coming out, and I'm going to finish this meal, so I think that is about it for this video. You know, hit the thumbs up if you like this video. If you want to see what comes next, please subscribe. I have a whole bunch of other videos for you to check out of me traveling all over the country. I hope you have time to check those out too, and I promise you'll enjoy them. So I appreciate you coming on this little adventure and seeing what I love to cook for my favorite meal, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.